we're gonna do butts and guts. One of my favorite combinations to work because your core cannot work without your glutes and your glutes cannot work without your core. So we're gonna do some supersets, time sets. Because I don't have a timer on me, I'm just going to be doing some counts of breath. That's usually what I do, and do it to fatigue. 15 to 20 reps is usually a really good place to be if you're going with your breath work and or reps, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So this is a workout along with me. So if you have a yoga block and a mat, your water, you're going to come and just join me on the floor. We are going to reset our hip bones with a pubic symphysis reset. So the pubic symphysis is the center of your pubic bone. You're going to place your feet together, pretty close, not quite touching, they don't have to be. You're going to spread the legs open and place the yoga block between the knees, just like so, okay? And you're going to keep those feet together, about a foot away from your glutes, relaxing through your whole body. Your spine is nice and neutral. You're going to do 1, 2, 3, squeeze. And you're going to squeeze the yoga block for about 1 second as hard and fast as you can. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. Right? Not letting go all the way on it. You want to hold it so that it doesn't fall like mine just did. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. After about the first 3 to 5 repetitions of this, you will have felt or have heard an audible pop in through that hip bone or in through the groin muscles or the adductor muscles. That is the fibrous joint realigning. And so that when we go and do our core exercises and our glutes, our body will be in alignment. Okay. I also forgot to add, you might want to grab 2 or 1 really flat pillows. Also helpful for what we're going to do. I like these guys. So we're gonna go into sets of a reverse crunch, okay? My low back has a lordotic curve. That means I have an anterior pelvic tilt. It's getting better, but it's still there. So I like to make sure that my core is going to be what is engaging and not my lower back. So I'm going to lay on my lower back with a pillow just underneath, kind of in line with my butt cheeks, or my pubic symphysis is called, the ischial tuberosity, and we're going to come up right here, okay? So reverse crunch, working from progressions here, inhale and crunch. You're just curling that hip or those hip bones up towards your ribs. Be mindful of what leg is crossed over. Not even crossing the legs over and just pressing the feet gently together is a better way to do this one. Inhale as you drop down, making sure you're only dropping those legs down towards the floor as far as you can maintain. This should never pop up. The lower back has to be pressed into that pillow or floor. Nice slow controlled movements are best. Keeping the shoulder blades back and down and relaxed. We're going for 15 repetitions here. So be mindful of how hard it is when we're doing 15 repetitions. Make it easier, bringing the legs together and just not going down as far or not going down at all, and working more on the lifting, exhaling phase of using those lower core muscles. Squeezing the knees together will help realign the pelvis as well. So that's level number 1. Level number 2 would be here, dropping the legs straight all the way down. I cannot do this. I'm about here. Being realistic with myself. If I do this, everything pops. My linea elbow is going to open up, and you could have rectus diastasis, and we don't want that, okay? Or hernias, lots of different things, right? We want to be here, be mindful of our core. I want to train my core for how I want it to look, and I want it to look nice and flat and tight and strong, okay? So we do not want that lordotic curve or those hips to fall down. After we're done a reverse crunch at 15 repetitions, we're gonna go on to hip thrusters. So just staying on the lower back but getting rid of the pillow. We're gonna stay with our feet about hip width apart, and we're gonna do hip thrusters. The first set we're gonna do all at level number 1. If you know how to make these harder, you're gonna do that right now. But we're gonna go, chin is tucked, shoulders are flat. We are going to lift up, squeeze through the glutes, okay? Keeping all 3 points of the feet, big toe, little toe, and heel down. You are posteriorly tilting your pelvis, right? Not lifting like this. Keeping belly button in, ribs are down. Flexing through those glutes. Even if you have to touch those glutes so that you're feeling more of the glutes. Don't lift up high, too high if you're feeling quads or hamstrings. Just stay a little bit lower in that smaller movement of that posterior pelvic tilt. Good, keep going for 5. And breathe out 4. Nice and slow controlled movements. 3 and 2 and 1. Showing you all the easiest progressions as we go. We're doing 3 sets of all of these exercises back to back in a circuit. We're gonna do a plank. I like to be mindful of my plank and do my breath. Forearms or wrists, either or. Both the same level of difficulty. And I think that I shared already that you can do them on a chair or something higher so that it makes it a little bit easier and takes a little bit of the weight off. But we're gonna come here into a plank. I'm gonna go onto my wrists. My elbows are pointing forward, the insides of my elbows. I'm in my plank, I'm nice and light on my toes. I'm gazing about 1.5 feet forward. Nice and light. The wider your stance, the easier this is. You can also start on the knees. If you do it from the knees, use a pillow or lift the legs up so you're not on your kneecaps. Pull the belly button in. Flex through the fingers. Find that gaze. Once you're in that position, be mindful of the shoulder blades. Inhale and exhale. Every time you exhale, you should have a light flexion of the glutes. So pull the belly button in and pull the gluteal muscles in just a little bit. Strengthening everything as we breathe out. That's that contraction phase. Our body is contracting and finding its best postural alignment. So 15 breaths there should be a good 30 seconds, okay? Then we're gonna come down into a fire hydrant. So because the wrists might be sore, do whatever you didn't do in the plank. So if you used your forearms, use the wrists. If you use the wrists, use your forearms. I'm gonna go down here and do a fire hydrant. I'm gonna bring my leg out to the side and I'm gonna gently just lift, lift, and lift. Abs in nice and tight, and 10, and 9, and 8. Try not to let your head fall. I was just being, almost let myself do that. Push through those forearms, breathe out, abs are in just like we just did in that plank. Still using the same muscles, but we're feeling the outside stabilizing muscles of that glute. Switching to the other side. If this gives you more space, do that. Push the fingers into the floor, grip the floor, push away, pull the abs in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, breathe it out, 7, abs in, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Into swimmers. I like to use the pillow underneath that hip pubic bone area. We're gonna come and arms are gonna be in front of us. And we're gonna do the swimmer. So alternating, opposite hand and opposite leg. When I lift up, my thumb goes up, my heel goes up. Feeling it in the top of the glutes and in the low back. Make sure you're keeping those shoulders back and down. If you're feeling your upper traps, do this. That'll help target the lat muscles a bit more, right? And 5, 4, 3, squeeze those lats, breathe it out, 2, and 1. Coming up, just to take a break here into a quick little child's pose before we come back over into our dead bug. Dead bug, again, if that lower back is having any issues, pillow up, press that lower back in, contract through those abdominals. Breathing just for 15. This is level number 1. So this is where you can stay the whole 3 sets, or you can make the progression. Just your breath is a repetition. 4 more. 3, watch those shoulders. Get rid of the tension every time you exhale. Breathe it out. Keep the tension here though. Done. Good. Moving back up to the reverse crunches. So you're already there with the pillow underneath the hip. We're going to do our reverse crunches. I'm going to bring my legs a little bit higher, but nothing crazy. I'm going to push my feet together on this one. Inhale, and really pushing down with my hands to try and get those hips up towards my ribs. Being mindful that my shoulders and head don't come off. Feeling those abs working. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Feel the core. All right, going into hip thrusters, so just getting rid of that pillow. This time I'm gonna go single leg, so I'm gonna do single. If you're doing both legs, just do a few more repetitions, making sure you're really focusing on that hip thrust. 5, 10. You want to be feeling that glute, so you can put your hands on the glutes if it will help. If this leg starts getting sore or tired from holding it up, put it here so you can really focus on the glute. Make sure that hip thrust is there. Breathing it out, pulling the belly button in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching legs. I'm starting with that leg straight out. 2, 3, 4. Hands going to be on the glute just to give myself a little bit of a reminder. Meet that muscle brain connection. And 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Feel those glutes working. Gonna move on to the plank. This time I'm gonna go down to the forearms and do 15 breaths. 2, breathe it out. Keep it on those toes. Keep your head looking forward. Breathe out, pull the belly button in, push yourself away every time. 10 more breaths. 9, flex those quads, front of the thigh, flex the glutes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and on. Whew. Give yourself a little baby cobra if you can, and this doesn't hurt your lower back or your shoulders aren't coming up into your earlobes. With 2 or 3 breaths there. Going into the fire hydrant. So if you're on your forearms, go into the wrists and so on. Another helpful tool is this guy. If you're using the fire hydrant, it gives you a little bit more, right? Stronger with the wrists. Right here. 7, 6, right? Use that if you need it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really trying to work on my hip mobility, so I don't want to use that. But if we had a wrist issue or we needed that little bit of help with mobility at the start, then please use it. Okay. Going to the other side. Down onto the forearms makes it a little bit trickier. 2, 3, 4, breathing it out. 5, looking ahead. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Into that child's pose for a couple breaths. Breathing into any spots of tension and then letting it go. Swimmers, so bring that pillow back in onto the hips. And we're gonna pull up, opposite arm, opposite leg, squeeze through the glute, keep the foot flexed. It gives you a little bit of a more concentrated straight leg. If we point the toe, sometimes we'll bend. So I want to keep that leg straight. You'll feel it right in that erector of the leg that you're lifting. Oops, opposite. If you're feeling too much back, keep your head down. You don't have to lift your upper body with it. You don't have to even lift the leg very high. Make sure you're just keeping that leg straight and feeling that upper glute to lower back. 2 more. 1 more. Feeling the back. Moving on to dead bugs. Use the pillow if you need it. I'm going to add on so you can just stay with the breaths that we did the first set. Or we can add on my progression. So I'm going to add a progression of all moving the leg and the hand away from one another. Inhale as you do so. Exhale. Watch that I'm only moving my arm and leg down as far and out as far as I can keep that lower back pressed down into the pillow or the towel, whatever you have, or the floor. Five more. 4, 3. My breath out is so crucial for that contraction of my rectus abdominis. 2. 1 more. Give those knees a little hug and breathe. Roll around if it feels good. Back up to the top, last set. Reverse crunches. I don't know why I keep doing that. Pillow stays under the hips. I'm going to have straight legs this time. Toes are going to be pointed. I'm not going to go down as far. But that's going to add the resistance on my reverse crunch. Really trying to get that butt off the floor using my abdominals. I don't even want to use too much hands. Using hands for more stability and so that my shoulders don't roll forward is one thing, but using it to full on push myself up, I don't really want that. I want to strengthen those lower abdominals so that I feel that. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Moving on to the hip thrusters. Take the pillow out. Resistance for this one, not going to add any today, but I am going to add, the only thing I'm going to add is as I do a hip thruster, I'm going to kick and down, up, kick, in and down. 3, 4, 5, make sure those glutes are working. Don't add this if you don't feel you're ready for it. Thrust those hips. 8, 9, 10, 5 more. Squeeze with the glutes. 2, last one. Whew. Butt should be burning. Here we go. 15 on the other side. 1, 2, thrust. 3, pelvic tilt. 4, Really reach away with that other leg if you're doing it. Squeeze the glute up at the top. You can hold there for half a second to really get that contraction. Get that breath out. It'll make a difference. 4 more. 3, 2, 1 more. Good. Woo, shaking it up. Plank. Here we go. 15 breaths. 1, 2, push away from the floor. 3, look ahead. 4, stay nice and light on the toes. 5, pull the belly button in, push away even more. 6, flex through the glutes and quads. 7, pull those shoulders down. 8, pull the belly button in. 9, flex the glutes and quads again. 10, push yourself away. 11, make sure you're looking away, shoulders relaxed. 12, flex, squeeze, pull, breathe out. 13, 14, push away, squeeze, flex. 15, done. Into that little micro child's pose for a couple breaths. Really let your shoulders relax down. Breathe. Let your core relax. Shouldn't be any pain here. Breathe in and shake it out. Going back into that fire hydrant, whatever posture you want to be on. Coming out to the side, and 1, lift, and 2, 3, 4, breathe, 5, 6, feel those glute muscles, 7, keep the back nice and flat, 8, pull the belly button in, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Switching sides. 1, 2, looking away, abs are in. 3, 4, 5, squeeze the floor. 6, push away. 7, 8, breathe it out. 9, shoulder blades back and down. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Whew. You feel it when you make sure that you're putting in that energy and effort to feel the form and do the breath. It doesn't take much to get a good contraction of those muscles. Pillow underneath, we're going for swimmers. Last set, here we go. Flex through that core. Arms up. 1, 2, 3, 4. With your breath. Last one, and 15, good work. I just don't want to breathe into the mic the whole time, so I was not talking. The last one, going into deadlifts. I'm going to add on again. Do not add on if you're not ready, so wherever you are, stay there, wherever you feel most comfortable. So now, I'm going to opposite leg, look up the whole time. That's going to add that intensity of a contraction in my core. You can already maybe see that I'm shaking. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, squeezing it up. 9, 10, 11, this is intense. 12, 13, 14, last one, and 15. Whew. Good. A great stretch sometimes for the shoulders and the back is sitting on the floor either like so, or you can do crisscross applesauce. And you're just pressing your knees down towards the floor and pressing the fingers in the chest up and letting the head gently sink back. If this is too much, we can bring the legs here and just maybe not worry about the head as coming back as much. And just do a gentle, gentle side to side motion. without pain. Flex the toes towards the shins and push the knees down into the floor. And coming forward and just sitting up nice and tall and shaking out the knees, opening up the chest. Being mindful once again of our posture at the end and at the beginning of every workout.